What's going on, everyone? This is our look at the box office for weekend of 5/24 with The Mandalorian Grogu. We are Post Credits Podcast, Grayson, Roger, and Chris with you. Here we go into the box office. Question for you, Roger and Chris. Are you ready?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. What
Make it
we
happen.
got?
All right,
Yeah.
so The Mandalorian and Grogu for the weekend of, what was it, Wednesday or Thursday night into Sunday, did 82 million. Now, just to be fair, Box Office Mojo has not reported the full earnings, but for Monday, it did an additional 20 million. So we're looking at 102 million for the entire release weekend for The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is not a small number. It's a good number for them. It's
I
not a
think
number
that's
that
gotta
they
be a
wanted, but
win. That's got to be a win for them, though, right?
of
Yeah,
course,
it probably is.
I mean,
100 million
they're
domestic.
They're deep into
yes.
this movie, so
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
we'll see where that
Number
goes.
2, and to Chris's great intellect here, it's Obsession was number 2. It did 22.4 over the weekend, and then another 5.8 on today, which is Memorial Day. So good.
Yeah.
So it's done 79, which means it's done almost
Jeez.
85 million.
I'm pretty sure that movie has a $1 million budget.
Well, they're all doing
crazy.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
everyone's
good.
happy there.
Good, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Excellent.
I think so. Yeah.
Glad to hear it. Michael is sitting at number 3, 20 million for the weekend, putting it the worldwide at 788. But I don't think that the additional 5.6 is factored in. So
Okay.
it's Michael could very well cruise to the $1 billion mark in the summer.
I don't think it's.
It's a long journey to $1 billion for it.
It is.
But
I
mean,
it's not going
maybe
fast enough. I don't think. Look, it's still a big win for them.
Yeah, I
And
mean, near $1
obviously-
billion. Yeah.
Everybody wants to see part 2. So
Well, the international total is 140 million above the domestic total. So if the international total could keep going up, and up. You never know.
Well, the fact that it's
okay.
The fact that it's 50-50 is actually impressive, considering that that Michael's a homegrown star. But
yeah, he was a global star, though.
Oh, he ended up being a worldwide phenomenon. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but it's just kind of interesting to see that it's the internationals making up more than half of it. That's crazy.
Small little artist you may have heard of once or twice in your life.
Once or twice, sure.
Okay, number 4, The Devil Wears Prada 2 still holding strong. So that did a 12.6 million this weekend for a worldwide of 608, but that is not factoring in the another 3.9 million it made just on Monday, Memorial Day, which we're recording this. So that's doing quite well for itself as well. That's a monster number for that movie. I didn't think you would hit it, but I'm glad it hit this across the $600 million mark. Yeah.
600 million is pretty damn good especially for we didn't really love the movie.
It's
but
okay
for what it did, and it's accomplishing 600 million. That's not a bad showing. Good for it, and good for everyone involved.
Yeah.
You know what is a bad showing though? Number 5, The Sheep Detectives. So it did 9 million over the holiday weekend. For a worldwide of 85 over the last 2 or 3 weeks, but that's not factoring in an additional 3.4 million it made on the Monday, Memorial Day. So that's not terrible, I guess, but not where they want to be sitting. Not in a movie with Hugh Jackman. That's not great. Although he's only in it for minutes, but it is what it is.
I believe the budget for Sheep Detective is rumored to be 75 million.
Yeah.
So
it's
it's not going to do it. It's not going to do it. It didn't have a huge marketing campaign though, so I don't know how much they spent on marketing. I don't think it's the traditional half and half, most likely because of that reason.
No.
So, I mean, I don't know what they were expecting without getting a big push or anything, but
I mean,
I've heard good things about it.
Feels very British, and that doesn't always translate here.
Yeah,
sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So,
all right, number 6, Passenger. Number 7, a movie we should probably take a little pit stop here, is Mortal Kombat. It did good money. It's sitting at 120 worldwide. So good for I don't have the Monday numbers for Mortal Kombat though. So that's probably a little higher, maybe like 122, 123 worldwide. So good. Number 8, I love
movie.
Yes, very much. Number 8, I Love Boosters. Number 9, this movie is I want to point it out for Chris's sake. The Super Mario Galaxy movie did another 3.1 million over the weekend, bringing its worldwide total, Chris. Now this is in real striking distance, $980 million.
Okay. All right.
It might limp. It might limp to $1 billion.
I'm willing to bet that they will keep it up until it does, just to have the tick under their belt for $1 billion. I'm willing to bet that.
Well, it gets more expensive to have it in there longer,
I get
of
it,
course,
but
but yeah.
I think they can afford it at this point.
Yeah, there's got to be an international market waiting for it though, still
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
Got to be somewhere.
Someone's looking at a map going, where else can we release this? Where else can we release this? Trying to get a couple more.
All right, and another one for you guys both. Project Hail Mary, number 10, 2.7 million for a worldwide of 675. That did more than The Devil Wears Prada 2.
So
That is
far,
surprising to me because it's like that's a
Yeah.
very niche, much more niche movie than Devil Wears Prada has a much wider audience.
but it's
That's
a much
crazy.
better movie too, though.
Yes,
It
that is
is.
true as well.
The
I
highest
do
grossing
think
Amazon film of all time.
I do think that Prada has a good chance to pass it though, just because of there's no real audience. I think Devil Wears Prada 2 is hitting a specific audience, and it isn't the same audience as Project Hail Mary, and I think it hasn't been out quite as long as Project, so I think that it has a chance to really pass it. But we'll see. Either way, it doesn't matter. Everyone's winning out of those two movies, so
Yeah,
good
of
for all of
course.
them.
Well, movie theaters
Yeah.
win. That's the most important thing. Movie theaters win.
Oh yeah, for sure.
True.
So there's not really any upsets. I got to be honest. I mean, we had some kind of private chats behind the scenes, the three of us, about. I mean, we knew that Mandalorian Grogu probably wasn't going to have the strongest showing with the critics, but I certainly thought it would. Monday, at least Thursday through Sunday, would have broken the $100 million barrier, and it didn't. And it was 20 short, and it made it up on Monday. But I'm surprised by that. I wonder. I know we had a discussion. You're going to hear this episode first, this video, but it'll pertain to the later videos of, it raises questions: is where does Star Wars go next, and like, is this data that they're collecting? It has to be, right? Like, Disney is definitely looking at this, saying, "Well, we have a few takeaways from this."
Yeah, let
well,
me issue a correction immediately. Our review of Mandalorian Grogu is already live.
true at the time.
As of
okay.
now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't. Okay.
Yep.
Already live.
It's
I thought we were
all
doing it on
good.
Tuesday. Okay. No worries.
Okay.
But so yeah, I think that they're definitely collecting some data from this.
Sure.
It's just not doing the numbers they thought it would do. But then again, Marvel in the past couple of years really hasn't hit the Marvel standard that they set for themselves either. So, but there's a lot more to that one as well. But
well, so
what do you guys think?
just looking at the totals, right? So I know it's a longer weekend, so take this with a grain of salt. But I think we're looking around like 140 million for like the weekend box office without accounting for today. So it's even more including today. But like 140 is a good weekend. I know we have an extra day in there, but still to have 140 million and 40 of that going to places that aren't the Mandalorian Grogu, that's actually a really solid weekend for the box office. I'd be willing to bet if movies like Michael and Obsession weren't out, that Grogu makes more money. I do.
I understand your thought process behind that. I just don't see it.
I don't think it's the full 40. Don't get me wrong, but
Mhm.
I think there is some money lost because we have a couple other good movies out right now. I mean, Devil Wears Prada 2, like that crowd is mostly female. Is what we're going to make the assumption of, right?
Skewing
Like
to ladies.
that's its pull. Mandalorian Grogu is kind of that crowd too. Unfortunately, that's who they're pushing for to get into the seats.
Mandalorian and Grogu is the most family movie we have right now besides Mario.
Fair.
Like Obsession is apparently a great movie, made decent money. It's rated R. It's not pulling in
the kids,
mom, dad, and 3 kids. It's just not going to do that. Like, it could be the best horror movie of all time, and it's just not going to pull that audience. Mandalorian is the closest thing, because Mandalorian is accessible as well, because if you didn't know what it was, you're like, oh, what movie is that, and you saw it coming out a couple of weeks ago, a lot of people have Disney Plus. You could have went back and watched a season or two and be like, okay, like, I'm on board here. Let's go see that movie, because we don't have anything to do on Sunday afternoon during a long weekend.
Well, Sheep Detectives is a family movie, but not that it's doing any money. But I mean, Sheep Detectives is.
But it's also not anywhere near the marketing of Mandalorian.
Sure.
Oh God, yeah. It's
sure,
everywhere, right?
Yeah, that's very
let me
understandable.
ask a serious question about Sheep Detective, because I see Mandalorian and Grogu commercials on regular television all the time. Have you seen a single Sheep Detective one that wasn't on a movie that we saw?
No,
I don't think I have.
I saw one on socials on TikTok. Like that's the only I saw one time for Sheep Detective. That was it. Same, So
again, though, it's there's a lot of marketing going into Mandalorian. So like the thing is, though, the budget is so high, so very, very high. So they have to push this ever, even if it was the worst one they've ever made. And it's not the worst. Don't get me wrong, but it could have been a lot better. They have to push this. They have to get as much money as they can immediately because every week, it's a declining asset here. So,
well, I mean, on their end of things, I believe they're going to make, if anything, they'll break even. They might make a tad of money on it, just because the marketing has been such a hard push. But it has to be more than it would have made from just releasing it on streaming, either as a streaming movie or as the series season it was supposed to be, whatever. Because there's no proof that would make the money. They probably see that Mandalorian numbers have been dipping on Disney Plus, like people watching season 3 compared to season 1 and 2, essentially. So the fact that those haven't tracked as well, they probably thought this probably needs to be something that's released theatrically so that they can get some money back on the production. I would assume, because they're not getting the new Disney Plus memberships from Mandalorian and Grogu at this point. So it's probably a good move on their part, no matter what it ends up making, as long as it gets them some recoup even from the cost of whatever the marketing would have been. Is what my suspicion is.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's got to clear at least 550 to break even. So,
I mean, so this has a real chance of hitting 6.
Sure,
this is all there's to it.
But a real chance of basically breaking even is not a great place to be.
Yeah. But again, compare that to what they could have got put in on Disney Plus.
Well, I mean, they wouldn't have got nearly a bad amount. Yeah, that's a very fair statement. But again, if making money is the goal, and sometimes with movies it really is about making money to fund other projects. Yeah, this is a stretch for that. Not like Obsession, which probably funded that studio, I don't know, for years.
Oh God. Yeah,
so the next 5 generations of 20 families. Yeah, of course.
Created a brand new director who's not going to be someone to watch and all this other stuff. So, I mean, definitely a stark contrast between the two situations. Obviously,
I don't think you guys think Mandalorian Grogu. Let's just say 6, or let's just say 550 is the break even point. I don't think it's even going to hit that.
You don't think so?
It has one more good week in it because next week there's not a mainstream release, and then after that it's done. I think Scary Movie is going to eat its lunch. What's the other movie that week that we've talked about? Scary Movie and what else?
Oh, it's a big one. It's one that.
He-Man. Isn't it He-Man?
Yes.
Masters of the Universe. Both those movies
ironically,
eat Grogu's lunch.
Ironically, I'd argue that the He-Man crowd is the Mandalorian Grogu crowd.
So is Scary Movie, though. So is Scary Movie crowd. I mean, partially, maybe not all of it, but
I was going to say
big
not all
percentage.
of it.
I think this movie came and went, and Disney's going to, because I know the budget. I don't want to talk about the budget. It is big. So
I think you should talk about the budget.
I think we shouldn't. I have the budget in my email. I knew some of the people in the accounting department. I have the budget. It is astronomically high but it was also intended to be it was also intended to be a season of a show. So when you amortize things,
300 plus. So
that's pretty close. That's pretty close.
God, that's crazy.
I know, but that's so. I think that but hold on, and I know we don't have a whole lot of time here, but I mean it's
good.
If you make a blunder like this, Disney needs to have a few more of these just to realize, okay, we either have to scale back or we need better script. Personally, I think you do both, but one of them needs to happen. I mean, because this script was not good. And I'm saying I'm trying to be generous.
I would argue, though, just real quick, that even with a better script, this movie still doesn't have enough money to make that number up.
I mean, it might have longer legs.
Sure, but
other than it doesn't do it. It doesn't do enough. Yeah, it doesn't do enough. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think this week's box office looks good. I'm happy for the movies that are finding success. I mean, Mandalorian Grogu needed more. Theaters had a great weekend though, which is really cool to see. So I'm pumped about that. Obsession, Michael for sure are still just doing great, and I'm happy to see that for sure. Mandalorian Grogu, I mean, it's making money, so that's all it needs to do.
Indeed, Jen. Well, thank you for this introspective look at the box office. Thank you for joining us, viewer and listener. We will see you again later in the week. You've been hanging out with Grayson, Roger, and Chris. We'll see you soon.